So here's why simple steps are important. Okay. Years ago, there was a very famous marketing split test done with Pop-Tarts. You guys all know Pop-Tarts, okay? And they had these directions on the Pop-Tart box. Microwave Pop-Tart, open, eat. They split tested with another box where they didn't have the 3-step plan. Microwave, open, eat. The one with the plan outsold the one without the plan by like 6 times. Wow. If you've ever gone to Las Vegas and stayed at a hotel and you're wondering why it literally has instructions on the hotel card key, insert key, pull out, open door, it's because people have lost their minds because they're in Vegas, right? You don't go to Vegas and you be in the right state of mind, right? But it's such a simple plan, people don't want to think. So that's why if I've worked with any of you in marketing, I have literally told you, how did they get in touch with you? Fill out the form, book a call, we'll get started. That easy. So Eric has a plan on how he's going to help these people, which is we're going to have a courageous conversation, we're going to get clarity, and we're going to chart a clear course of action. Here's what I want you to do. Fill out the form, book a call, we'll get started. Got a plan. That is the call to action. Fill out the form, right? Now, what happens if they work with you?
What happens is they're going to have some SMART goals, and so they'll have some measurables, and they're going to be successful.
What does success look like for them?
And that's defined by them. So is it so for maybe one person, their success goal was instead of just buying my daughter a car, I'd like to take her out to dinner. So.
Okay, so closer connection with family. Keep going. Keep talking.
Let's see. Even personal goals like their life plan. So how do I actually take vacations because I've got 10 businesses?
Be okay with resting.
Keep talking. And actually having an exit strategy for a vice president who's not actually working out.
Learn how to fire people with compassion. Keep going.
Taking personal responsibility for their physical fitness.
Get back in shape and feel young again. What does that make them feel like?
It helps them get clarity for the bucket list that I help them build.
The bucket list. So you live a life that is has no regrets. Okay? So watch what happens. Now what happens if they don't work with you?
If they don't work with me, then they usually just go around the mountain. They just live the treadmill life, the cycle of same as it ever was.
Now, for a high-level achiever, what does that feel like?
Yeah, death.
Hell. Pain. Monotony. Regret. Not moving forward, but what were they feeling? All right, so watch this. Okay, I'm going to sales pitch his entire coaching business. Okay? Just by going through these 7 steps. And this is what we're going to do. Okay? Are you a high-level leader and have felt alone even though you're successful? On the inside, you see nothing but isolation. Everyone around you thinks that you have the best life in the world, but on the inside you're slowly dying. And you stare at the ceiling in the middle of the night in your bed, and you say to yourself, life should not be this way. I'm successful. I'm running 10 businesses. Life should not be this way. I should be happier. My name is Eric Peoples, and over the past 8 years, I've worked with CEOs, entrepreneurs, high-level leaders, thought leaders, and pastors. I got my start at Xerox, where I learned that even though people are applauding you, they're not really with you. I learned the hard truth that even though others are applauding you, they're not always with you. And they're actually against you. I know how alone that feels. Because for 3 years in a row, I won the top award in corporate sales in the entire United States of America. I picked up trophy after trophy and had a room full of hundreds of people applaud me, only to find that when I walked off the stage, people like stare darts through me and say, I'm going to get you next year. You're going down. And they would sabotage my calls. They would hijack my email. They would unplug my fax machine, right? Whatever time of year it was. And I know what it feels like to feel alone. Everything changed when I decided to have a courageous conversation with a coach. That conversation helped me get clarity on what I really wanted out of life. Because I was burning the candle at both ends, trying to be more and more successful, and I realized I didn't actually have people that were for me around me. I know what it feels like to have people feel intimidated by the number of zeros at the end of your paycheck. I know what it feels like to have people write you off just because you're wearing a suit and judge you. I know how alone that feels. I have a plan. It's called the Courageous Leadership Lifeline Pathway Framework. Trademark.
People giving into the fear of failure before trying.
You hear how many ums? What breaks your heart?
Talented people who are living in the talented people who are living in the rearview mirror or echo of their past.
Wow. So, what if he said at the end of this pitch, and he had a clear and compelling goal statement? My name is Eric Peoples, and you know what? After all that whole thing that I just said, here's what I'm seeing. By December 31st, 2017, I see 99 leaders who are no longer living each day of their lives looking at their rearview mirror and living in the echo of what could have been. I see leaders. What was the thing that you said that ticked you off?
I see leaders.
I see a movement of leaders who refuse to give up because of the fear of failing. I want to coach 100 leaders by December 31st, 2017. Do you guys see how the movement now feeds the marketing? Okay, so that's different than what Brian might say, right? And it's different than what Allison might say. And it's different than what Ron might say. Because all the movements you want to start are different, right? Aman might say this about the people who are in the tech space, which is one of the most cutthroat industries that we have. And that ticks him off because he's told me stories. Like, I went to Nike Land, they told us to build something I didn't agree with. I told him, go to hell. I was like, you told Nike to just, yeah, he doesn't care. Because that's something inside him, right? It's a movement. So now, do you guys see, remember the first slide I showed you? I don't have it here, but marketing you don't need better marketing only. You need the movement that precedes it. Do you guys see how that all came together? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a 15-minute break, and then we're going to have the amazing Val Brown come up and share with us, okay? And you've seen this framework, and what I'm going to ask you guys to do, right, through the rest of this afternoon, because then you're going to hear from Michael and from Jennifer this afternoon, but I wanted you to see how this all fits, because in the afternoon, these two are going to show you how to be a mouthpiece for everything that we worked on this morning. So when you go into a large cap organization and you want to consult for them, or you want to go speak at a conference and you want to differentiate yourself, you actually understand that you have to have a movement that's birthed inside you. Then use this marketing framework, and then it's easy to go talk to somebody and say, here's why you should have me speak, or here's why I should come into your company and consult. You guys see how this is working. But before even that, Val's going to make sure you don't wear Spider-Man t-shirts on your website. All right, so this is how it's all fitting together. You guys understand? I had a plan. I hope it's making sense. So we'll cue the music. Let's come back at 10:50. Okay, well, 15-minute break. I know it's long, so grab some coffee, grab some water, move around. Randy will turn on some music, and we'll see you back here at 10:50.